Hi everyone, hope you all are good. We are here for grade 10 math. You can find all the lessons on aplusstudents.com. You have to log in there using your email address and password is provided by the administrator. Then you have to select math from the subject tab. Scroll down to grade 10 and then click on view all lessons. So there you can find the list of the chapters. We're going to start with the chapter quadratic equations, and the lessons we're going to cover today are solve a quadratic equation using the quadratic formula, solve a quadratic equation by completing the square, system of linear and quadratic equations. So we have already started the chapter quadratic equations, right? We are in the last session we have learned different ways to solve the quadratic equation, right? So today we're going to start with solve a quadratic equation using the quadratic formula, right? So first just let's see what is the quadratic formula. That is x equals negative b plus minus square root b square minus 4ac divided by 2a. Right, this is the quadratic formula, and that is for the equation in the form ax square plus bx plus c. Coefficient of x square is a, the coefficient of x is b, and the one without variable is c. Right, if you have an equation in this form, then you have to apply this quadratic formula, right? Let's just start with the lesson. Okay, here I'm on solve a quadratic equation using the quadratic formula. Okay, the equation is 3w square plus 8w minus 5 equals 0. Let's just apply the quadratic. 3w square plus 8w minus 5, right? So a is 3, b is 8, c is negative 5, right? I'm going to apply this where I put the values of the variables in the equation, right? So that is negative b is 8, negative 8 plus minus b square, 8 square minus 4, a is 3, c is negative 5 divided by 2a, right? You are going to evaluate this for the w because here you have the variable w, right? Negative 8 plus minus 8 square is 64, minus minus plus 5 times 3 is 50 and 4. So 5 times 3 is 15 and 15 times 4 is 60 divided by 2. A is 3. 2 times 3 is 6, right? Okay, you have negative 8 plus minus 144 divided by 6. So square root 144 is 12 over 6, right? Now you have the two plus and minus. One time evaluate with a positive sign, and the second time you have to evaluate with a negative sign. So the w is negative 8 plus 12 over 6, and w equals negative 8 negative 12 over 6. So 12 minus 8 is 4, that is 4 over 6, that means 2 over 3 it is, right? And here you have negative 20 over 6, that means you have negative 10 over 3, right? So w has two values, they are 2 over 3 and negative over 3, right? That's how you evaluate the equation using quadratic formula. Got it? The values are 2 over 3 and negative 10 over 3. Okay, let's just start with the test questions. Okay, the first one is 2w square minus 5w minus 3. Let's just evaluate using quadratic formula, that is 2w square minus 5w 3 minus 5w minus 3 equals 0, right? So a b equals negative 5 and c equals negative 3. Let's just evaluate using formula. The quadratic formula is we have to evaluate for the variable w, that is negative b plus minus b square minus 4ac divided by 2a, right? Let's just substitute the values in the formula. So that is negative 5 because b is negative 5 plus minus square root b is negative 5 square minus 4, a is 2, c is negative 3 and divided by 2 times 2. Let's just do the calculations, right? Negative and negative 5 means you have positive 5. Negative 5 square is 25. 3 times 2 is 6 and 6 times 4 is 24. That is positive 24 divided by 2 times 2 is 4. And you have 5. 24 plus 25 is 9. Square root 49 divided by 4. Evaluate the square root 49. That would be 5 plus minus 7 divided by 4. So let's just evaluate with the positive sign, and 5 plus 7 over 4, 5 minus 7 over 4. 5 plus 7 is 12 over 4. 12 over 4 is 3. And 5 minus 7 is negative 2 over 4. That is negative 1 over 2. So you have two values for the w. They are w equals 3 and w equals negative 1 over, right? So you have two values for the w. They are w equals 3 and w equals negative 1 over 2, right? So the correct option is 3 and negative 1 over 2. Option number 2 is the correct option, right? Okay, let's just do another example. One is 6q square minus 6q minus 5 equals 0. 6q square minus 6q minus 5 equals 0. So here you have the variable q. We have to solve this for variable q. So a equals 6, b equals negative 6 and c equals negative 5, right? So you have to evaluate for the q. So let's just evaluate the formula, that is negative b plus minus square root b square minus 4ac divided by 2a. Let's just substitute the values, evaluate. Okay, that is negative 6 plus minus b square is negative 6 square minus 4, a is 6, c is negative 5 and divided by 2, a is 6. So that is negative times negative 6 is positive 6. 6 square is 36. Negative and negative is positive. 5 times 6 is 30. And 30 times 4 is 120 divided by 12. So that is 6 plus minus square root 156 divided by 12, right? Let's just evaluate square root 156. Square root 156 equals 12.48. That means 12.58 is, right? So it is 6 plus minus 12.5 divided by 12. So Q equals 6 plus 12.5 over 12, and Q equals 6 minus 12.5 over 12. So it is 6 plus 12.5, 18.5 divided by 12, that is 1.5. And here you have 6 minus 12.5, negative 6.5 divided by 6, that equals negative 1.0. So you have two values of for the Q. They are 1.5 and negative 1.0. Negative 1.5 and the second one is, okay, let me just check. Oh, hold on. 6 minus 12.5, negative 6.5 divided by 12. That is 0, negative 0.54, sorry. That is negative 0.54. So which is the correct option? Q equals 1.5 and negative. Option number 1 is the correct option, right? Okay, you can complete the lesson. Okay, you can complete the lesson by yourself later today. Let me just move on to next lesson. And the next lesson is, I think by completing a square it is. Yes, you solve a quadratic equation by completing the. Okay, how do we complete the square? We have done some of the practice questions for this lesson in the last session, right? Let's just do a quick review. So x square minus 30x plus 43 equals 0, right? Move this 43 to the other side. X square minus 30 over x equals negative 43. Here is the b, right? When we are cutting the square, we add b over 2 whole square. B is negative 30. Negative 30 over 2 is 15. That means you need to add 15 square both sides, right? So here you have x square minus tx plus 15 square. Same you have to add on the other side, right? This one is the square of x minus 15 whole square because this one is negative. So here you have x minus 15 square. And this one is negative 43 plus 15 square is 225, I think. Yes, 225 it is, right? And 225 minus 43 equals 182. X minus 15 whole square equals 182. Hold on. Okay, now just square root both sides, right? Because here you have square, so square root sides. So square root 182 equals square root 182 equals 13.4 plus minus, right? Whenever you evaluate the square root, this one 2 and square root cancel out and you are left with x minus 15. Wait, hold on. Okay, that is x minus 15 whole square and square root 182. So that would be x minus 15 because 2 and square root cancel out. And when you evaluate square root 182, that equals 13 point plus minus 13.4. So you have two values. X minus 15 equals 13.4 and x minus 15 equals negative 13.4. Right? So x equals 13.4 plus 15. Right? That equals 28.4. And x equals negative 13.4 plus 15. So that equals 1.6, right? So you have two values for x. They are x equals 28.4 and x equals 1.6. Got it? Let me just check the values. Yes, they are 28.4 and 1.6, 1.51, right? Okay, let's just start with the practice questions. Okay, the first one is k square minus 10k plus 9 equals 0. Okay, so move 9 other side, right? K square minus 10k equals negative 9. So when we are completing square, we add b by 2 whole square. B is 10. So you need to add b over 2 whole square both sides. 10 over 2. 10 over 2 is 5. That is 5 square. You need to add 5 square both sides, right? Okay, so you have to add 5 square both sides, right? K square minus 10k plus 5 square negative 9 plus 5 square, right? This one is a complete square of k minus 5 whole square, right? And here you have negative 9 plus 25. And 25 minus 9 is 16, right? So let's just square root both sides. 2 and square root cancel. You are left with k minus 5 equals plus minus 4. So let's just evaluate for So that is k minus 5 equals 4 and k minus 5 equals negative 4. So k is 4 plus 5 equals 9 and k is negative 4 plus 5. 5 minus 4 is 1. So k equals 1. You have two answers, k equals 9 and k equals 1. You have two values for the k. They are k equals 9 and k equals 1. Got it? Okay, let's just do another example. You have two values for k. K equals 9 and k equals 1. Both the options is the correct one, 1 and 9 and 9 and 1. No matter what value you write first and what value you write second, right? But what is this 9 and 1? They both are same, right? Okay, the next one is p square plus 12p equals 19. Negative 19. Yes, okay. So here is b, right? Just add b over 2 square. That would be 6 square. That means on the both sides you have to add 6 square, right? So p square plus 12p plus 6 square equals negative 19 plus 6 square. This is the square of p plus 6 and negative 19 plus 36 is 36 minus 19 equals 17. So here you have p plus 6 whole square equals 17. Let's just evaluate square root both sides. So you are left with p plus 6 and square root 17 equals 4.1. That is 4.1 plus minus. So p equals 4.1 minus 6 and p equals negative 4.1 minus 6, right? So 4.1 minus equals 4.1 minus 6 equals negative 1.9 and negative 10.1. So the correct option is negative 1.9 and negative 10.1. Both the values are negative. So that is negative 1.88 and negative 10.1. 1, 2 is the correct option, right? Solve by completing the square. X square minus 30x plus 43 equals 0. Solve this question on your own and write the answer in the chat box. I'm waiting for the question. I'm waiting for the answers from your side, which is the correct option. That is the one we did on the tutorial, and I remember the answers. That is negative 28.4 and 1.5 on option number 2 is the correct option. Oh, that is option number 1, right? Okay, you can complete the lesson by yourself later today. Let me just move on to lesson. The next lesson is linear equation and okay, the next lesson is system of linear and quadratic equations. Okay, solve system of equations. One of the equation is actually linear and one of them is quadratic, right? The first one, y equals to x square minus 12x minus 45 is the quadratic equation, and y equals negative 12x minus 27 is the linear one, right? So how do we evaluate? Basically, they both are equal to y, right? So you can equate them, right? So just equate both the equations and solve for x. You can see here negative 12x negative 27 equals 2x square minus 12x minus 45, right? Just collect this and you are left with 18 equals 2x square. So you are left with x square equals 9. That means x equals plus minus 3. Let's just start with the practice questions, right? Okay, y equals negative 18 plus 6 and y equals negative 18 x plus 6, and the other one is y equals x square minus 31x minus 24, right? Just equate both the equations because they both equal y, so that means they both are equal, right? That is negative 18x plus 6 equals x square minus 31x minus 24, right? Move negative 18 and 6 on the other side, so that would be x square minus 31x plus 18x and minus 24 plus 6 equals 0, right? So that is x square negative 31x plus 18 is negative 13x, right? And minus 24 plus 6 equals negative 18. Now you have this equation. You can solve a quadratic equation. You can solve this equation using any method, by factoring, by completing square, by quadratic formula, whatever method you like, right? Let's just evaluate this value for quadratic formula, right? X equals negative b plus minus square root b square 4ac divided by 2a. Let's just evaluate. Negative 13 plus minus negative 13 square minus 4a is 1, c is negative 18 divided by 2 times 1. So that is 13 plus minus 13 square is 169 plus 18 times 4 is for 72 and divided by 2 times 1, that is 2, right? So 169 plus 72 equals 241. 13 plus minus, hold on, 13 times 13 is 169 and 18 times 4 is 72. And 72 plus 169 is 241. Okay, 241 divided by 2. So let's just evaluate square root 2 square root 241. That is 15.5, right? 13 plus minus 15.5 divided by 2, right? So you have two values of x. They are 13 plus 15.5 over 2 and 13 minus 15.5 over 2, right? But here you don't have any decimal value. Why? Hold on. X square minus 13x minus 30. But yes, I did a mistake here. That's why. Negative 18x plus 6. When you move plus 6 to the other side, it would be negative. Here you have 20, negative 24 and negative 6, right? So that would be negative 30. Let's just hold on. Okay, here you have, sorry, here you have negative 30, right? So you can factor out the equation. 10 times 3 is 30, right? X square minus 10x minus 3x minus 30 equals 0. So x minus 10, you can take common x, minus 3, you can take common. No, not negative 10 minus negative 3. Hold on. Let me just think the factors. 13 times 6. Oh, 15 times 2 it is. The factors are 15 and 2, right? Because 15 times 2 is 30, and when you subtract that, the answer is 15, 13, right? Negative 15x plus 2x. So x common, x minus 15 plus 2 common, and x minus 15, right? So you have two values for x plus 2 equals 0, x minus 15 equals 0. So you have two values of x. From here you have x equals negative 2, from here you have x equals 15. So let's just put these values in both the equations to evaluate the y. For the first one, it is y equals negative 18 times negative 2 plus 6, that is negative 36 plus 6, that is negative 30. So one of the pair of values is negative 2 and negative 30. Positive 36 plus 6 equals, that is 42, right? And second, let's just substitute y equals 15. You can put any equation, right? They both have exactly same answer. So 18 times 18 is negative 18 times 15 is 270. 270 plus 6, that is 276. So you have two pair of values. They are 2 and 42 and 6 and 276, right? Okay, let's just explain again. I did so many mistakes. Let me just explain again, right? Okay, so you are given two of the equations, right? And the equations are y equals negative 18x plus 6, and the second one is y equals x square minus 31x minus 4. Equation number 1 is a linear equation, and equation number 2 is a quadratic equation, right? Both the equations are equal to y. That means they both are equal, right? So just equate them. Here it is. Okay. Negative 18x plus 6 equals x square minus 31 minus 24, right? So move the terms other side and collect the like terms. Negative 13 plus 18 is negative 13x, and negative 24 negative 6 is negative 30, right? So you are left with x squared negative 13x minus 30. Now you have to solve this equation using any method, because that is a quadratic equation and you need to find the value of x, right? So I factored out this equation. They are negative 15x plus 2. So when I factored the equation, I have two values for x. They are x equal negative 2, here it is, and x equals 15. You have to find the value of y. You can put these values of x in any of the equation and evaluate the value of y, right? So the first equation is negative 18 minus negative 2 plus 6 and negative 18 times negative 15 plus 6. So the values are 242, the pair of values are 2 and 42, and the other pair is 15 and 276, right? So that's how you evaluate a pair of linear equation and a quadratic equation. Got it? Okay, you can complete the lesson by yourself later today. Let's just, you can complete the lesson by yourself later today, right? So we were working on grade 10 math. The chapter we were working on is quadratic equations, and the lessons we have covered today. Solve a quadratic equation using the quadratic formula. Solve a quadratic equation by completing the square. And the one we just did is system of linear and quadratic equations, right? So please make sure before the next session you can complete all the practice questions for the lessons we did today. So if you need more help with any of the lesson, you can contact any tutor on the Skype. They are available from Monday to Friday, 5 to 9. That's all for today. See you in the next session. Bye everyone.